a lot of stuff happened.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff happened this week, man. You had the bridge collapse, right, in Baltimore. And also you had the situation. Yeah. I mean, you had you had the bridge collapse. That was crazy how fast it happened. Boom, in the water, and everybody had so many different conspiracies. People showed videos where it appeared at the top of the bridge that dynamite was going off, and to me personally, I thought it was just the wire snapping. Um, I learned a lot. I learned a thing called a pilot. And what they do is when international ships come to our harbor, they dock the boat and bring them into the different ports.
Yeah, I know.
And then they take them out. They use the tug and bring them in or out because like it's different parts like shallow water, deep water. So they know how to navigate the harbor or whatever, right? Yeah. And this ship was having electrical problems before it left port, and I guess they thought they had it under control and they left. And then the pilot was the one who radioed to whoever to say, "Hey, the ship is out of control. Stop the traffic or whatever." That it was about to, was headed that way. So that pilot, he was the guy who was familiar with our harbor. It wasn't their guy. Gotcha. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of different stuff that I saw people talking about. Wow, well, they should have dropped the anchor. Well, you could drop an anchor, and if the power go out, I'm assuming that the anchor probably would stop. Yeah. And even also that it would hit the bottom and drag if it ain't no rocks. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then another thing is, every year I go jet skiing. When you let off the throttle, that is not a brake. It's going to keep going.
Yeah, you got motion.
Yeah, it's going to keep going. So exactly. So it was just weird that people just thought like it's a conspiracy. And typically conspiracies are like, or like smoke screens, like it's to cover something up. But what is being covered up? What happened at the same time that the bridge collapsed?
I work on cargo ships. I'm on one right now. You can check my videos. This is what I do for a living. I want to talk about the pilot boat, the tugboats. And we've been talking about this all day on my vessel. And I work in engineering. I work in the engine room and talking with the chief engineer. We've been talking about this all day. So I'm going to try to explain some of this to y'all as fast as I can. As far as the pilot boat is concerned, the pilot is already on the vessel. So if that ship left the dock, the pilot entered the vessel from the dock. He pilots the boat alongside of the captain through the canal or whatever area they were in, through that portion. That's his job. Once they reach a certain part of the water, the pilot boat will come back alongside of that vessel, and the pilot will disembark the ship, get onto the pilot boat, and leave. When they're coming into port, the pilot boat will come alongside of the ship. The pilot that's going to operate the boat for the captain, because this is his job, will get off of the small pilot boat and embark onto the vessel, go up to the bridge, and work alongside of the captain. Tugboats are usually let go at a point where it's safe to do so. Now, they've probably been doing this the same way for a long time, and
I think conspiracy theories are a lot of times just us looking for an explanation for a bad thing. Sometimes some shit, bad shit just happens, right? And you can just loosely throw conspiracy, and almost anything fucked up that happens with casualties, you probably can draw a line and make an argument that it's a conspiracy because of this. You can always find something if you look hard enough, right? What I will say, or what I looked at was, who the fuck gonna get that contract for that bridge to build that new bridge? And how much money is that contract? So I don't know if it was this shit was caused or whether it was a mistake, whatever, right? I ain't got that type of time, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like, all right, now that it's happened, who can get that fucking contract to build a new bridge? How much money is that gonna involve? What's happening now with that, right? I'm looking at that, and then, I mean, shit. If you do reverse engineer, then you might be like, all right, well, follow the money. It could have been something.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look at the time of night that it happened, could it be? Maybe, but at this day and time, right? Like I look at the amount of money that the building of the new bridge is going to generate, and then I look at the economy. So let's just say if it were foul play, it could be a cash grab. Like, oh, we just had this, maybe a few cash. We just have it done at 2:00 in the morning. Whoop, 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 whoop. Cash in, paid a couple of families, get this new contract. We'll sub it to those guys. Could be, you know what I'm saying? But also could just be a fucking fluke mistake, man.
And that's what it appears to be because, like, to your point, right? Let's say it's a cash grab. It's not an immediate cash grab, but it's a cash grab. And think about the economy. It will hurt the economy more than it will help it. Even if we just saying we're going to build a new bridge. And let me explain why I say that. First, they got to clear the debris from out the harbor. You still got big ships going to pass through there, right? I'm assuming that was supposed to be the highest point of the bridge, that only these big ships can pass when the tide is low, obviously, right?
That in itself is even a contract.
That's what I'm saying.
A contract to do that, to get the metal out of the water.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And think about, and here's the thing: the cleanup is not. You can't really time that. They could give an estimate because they don't. When they get down there, that murky water, they don't know what they're going to see and how metal is lodged in the ground. They gotta get all of that out. They can't risk the ship going through there 5 years later and hit a piece of metal and rip the daggone ship open because these ships weigh a whole lot.
But like in any. To the best of my understanding, and who the fuck am I, right? In any cases where it's like some sort of like mass destruction, that's easy money to get.
I agree. I get that.
And the local government is gonna come up with that money to do that.
Yeah,
and that's
they is
right. So anytime money comes, people stay.
Because this is one of those things where people can't even argue the money because like we need this bridge.
Exactly,
it's a major artery.
Right. So it's like again, it's like who's gonna, put those bids in there? Where's that money gonna go, and who's gonna, really eat off of that? Right.
What about the families though? That all the attention got taken off of the families, the people that actually died. Like we watched, played this slow, add music to people dying.
Yeah, I mean,
that's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, but it's like, bro, like I would argue that the time that we in now, us as a people are the most
desensitized.
Not necessarily desensitized. I would say the time that we in now, people are the most, as a whole, compassionate. Because if we go 200-300 years, or maybe 100 years, it'd be public hangings. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now it might seem like it because we see a lot.
Yeah.
But like people are like we're a lot more sensitive.
And it was a lot of like one of the ways I take the temperature. I love social media for this point, right? Because you got all the pages, the murder pages, the dis pages, and all that stuff where they post these things. And you get in the comment section, you kind of can take the temperature of the people. And a lot of the pages are predominantly black, whatever, or urban rather, because it's not necessarily black, but more urban, right? And all the black people, and people in general.
Yeah.
But like they care. Like, rest in peace to just sending condolences all together to the Hispanic community and stuff. And I thought that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of times, like everybody want to talk race and like we don't really care about each other. But when it's times of crisis or disaster stuff, we really do care about each other. I love that.
I like that shit
about humanity, and I think that's one thing that got lost. And even too is though the mayor.
I saw that.
You seen that clip where they were talking about how fast it's going to take, how long it's going to take them to get the bridge rebuilt? Like, dude, it's people in the water.
Yeah.
It's people in the water, and one of these, somebody was like really trying to talk about the fact that the mayor came out there because it happened like 1:30 in the morning. He came out there with a little blazer on. They wanted him to be suit and tie. It's so crazy, like the stuff that people want to focus on at the time of disaster, rebuilding the bridge. Oh, the mayor has a jacket on, and they even went even far as to say there's DEI. The diverse equity, some goofy shit, whatever the case may be. And it was like, this is so insulting. Like the stuff that the bottom, lower, grimy levels of society focus on when you got 6 people dead.
I'm going to tell you something, though.
In a horrendous accident.
How long is it going to take to rebuild this, Mayor?
I think right now, sir, listen, we shouldn't even be having that discussion right now. The discussion right now should be about the people, the souls, the lives that we're trying to save. There will be a time to discuss about a bridge and how we get a bridge back up. But right now, there are people in the water that we have to get out. And that's the only thing we should be talking about.
I know, and we all know, and you know very well, that black men and young black men in particular have been the boogeyman for those who are racist and think that only straight, wealthy white men should have a say in anything. We've been the boogeyman from them since the first day they brought us to this country. And what they mean by DEI, in my opinion, is duly elected incumbent. We know what they want to say, but they don't have the courage to say the N-word. And the fact that I don't believe in their untruthful and wrong ideology, and I am very proud of my heritage and who I am and where I come from, scares them, because me being at my position means that their way of thinking, their way of life of being comfortable and suffering, and while everyone else suffers, is going to be at risk, and they should be afraid, because that's my purpose in life.
Excuse me. Tell you something. Did you see, like, a couple of weeks ago, that I don't know who posted it, but it was something to the effect that people don't have any inner monologue, right? So a lot of times when you see shit, you're like, bro, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like, are you here? Like you bypassing that, and it makes a lot of sense, because when you see something and somebody clearly misses the mark and says, yo, your jacket, you don't have the right jacket on. In the case of the man, it's like, bro, like, that's not even a point.
Yeah, like I grab whatever.
This motherfucker don't got no in a monologue.
Right.
Like, he ain't nothing functioning.
But,
he just saying exactly what's on his mind at the moment, right? And we have a lot of people like that. And another thing on your comment, as far as comments on social media, that shit is wild, right? Because comments on social media is never any middle ground. It's either one side is this, the other side is this, and maybe we'll agree on like something tragic.
Yeah.
Like, I'll see something and clearly maybe it's due to the year that I was born or the era I come from. I'll see something and it's so clear, and then I go in them comments. And it'd be the opposite. Like the brother that had I think I used to wear, I didn't wear those New Balance with the polo shirts. I would wear like Airs. Yeah. What they call Air Force Ones. We call Nike Airs.
I think I know what you about to talk about.
I would wear like Airs with the polo shirt. So although I didn't agree with the fit of his clothes.
Hold on. What are you, tell us what you're talking about.
The guy that a few weeks ago, he got an LRG contract, but the guy, he was coming from the spot, and he told the girls, like, ain't I fresh? When you post this, throw the little joint up.
Okay, copy that.
I ain't fresh. I ain't fresh. You're not fresh. At all. No, sir.
I forgot. I don't even know the brother's name, but the girls was like, yeah, you ain't.
They was talking about his fit.
Yeah.
Versus not what he just did.
Let me string it all back, right? So when I looked at that, I thought I wouldn't particularly like the fit of his clothes, but he is fresh. When I get in the comments, it's a bunch of people that agree with me, right? Yeah. Then it's a whole bunch of people like, no, he ain't fresh. That shit was laid out. He dressing like the rappers from the 90s. And I'm like, again, right? What I'm saying is like, it's no middle ground. There's nobody in the comments like,
it's no lukewarm.
It's no lukewarm. It's either this or that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like, that's kind of the beauty in a sense, because it's like one of those things where you could kind of like hide behind an avatar or yourself and just say what you want to say. And to a certain degree, it's raw data. And that's why I said you could really look in the comments and take the temperature. Because there's a lot of stuff like, by definition, I'm conservative. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of different ways I have. So I kind of like go to different pages. And then I realize I'm not a part of that group, because you can see the raw data of how somebody think about a person like me. Going back to what we was talking about, the mayor, and how people looked at him just because of this and not because of his job. And not to mention, it wasn't
young.
Yeah, he is young. I think he's in his 30s. Yeah. But that's the problem with this country altogether, because we got a bunch of old people running it. See, they talk out both sides of their mouth, right? Yeah. They say we should have younger this, younger that. Biden going on like 80-something, 82, or whatever the case may be, and they went 4 more years, he'll be 86. You see what I'm saying? And to say that, I said that to say that, like, we need people that represent us and understand. They got more skin in the game, more or less. That's true. You know what I'm saying?
But all them old people that we see, right? Mm-hmm. And as far as I'm concerned, right? Again, what do I know? Yo, our government.
Don't downplay yourself.
Okay. Our government is for sale.
Oh, absolutely.
All those the old people that you see. Sorry, they're for sale.
Exactly, and that's the problem. Can we just move to the next? We might as well just go to the next. We might as well just
go.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead. You want to close it out?
Okay. So what was brought to my attention was a thing with TikTok, and it's like, all right, the China piece, all right, cool, whether you believe in it or not. Right, all right. But what was brought to my attention is you already know the power that Amazon gentleman has. I don't even want to say this. I don't want to fuck this shit up. Right?
I mean, whatever.
All right. It says, what TikTok Shop does, right? Person to consumer. You don't need a subscription. So people just slinging and banging straight on TikTok.
I bought some fake hats on there.
Right. So
got rid of them.
We not even thinking, right? You say, oh, that's cool. You don't really pay no mind because we be on TikTok looking at shit. You did. I don't really buy nothing on TikTok. I see shit that I'm like, I'll make it.
My wife got a whole shopping cart.
So listen.
Right now, Phil.
What you ask yourself, as far as business is concerned, what does that do to Amazon?
It knocks them out the box because the quality of their products are good.
Right.
So because Amazon, excuse me, not to cut you off, but Amazon don't have the luxury of TikTok that has somebody attention.
What my guess is.
But listen, TikTok has your attention. You know, you scrolling through, and then it'll be something TikTok Shop or somebody that you follow may have got a product off of there, and boom, they talking about it, and they playing with it, flying their little drone, and then you go click it, and then you probably buy, but you're there. You might buy something else, but Amazon don't have that luxury.
Yeah. So my guess is if they tank
good
Amazon will have something coming out shortly.
I didn't even think about that angle.
Yeah,
see, go ahead, finish.
It's
I'm sorry.
So when I look at it from that standpoint, everything here is always gonna go back to the money. If you want to see what's going on, and you might not still get the whole picture.
Take on that.
Follow the motherfucking money.
That's a real good take.
Because
But hold on, it could be double sworded too, in the sense that you consider this angle. First, they kept talking about just them having access to different data or whatever the case may be.
Anyway.
Dude, exactly. It's no different than Instagram or Meta, whatever whoever owns Facebook.
Yeah, but you give so much of your data away. Everything that you buy, whether it's from Target, whether it's the supermarket, whether it's CVS, you give giving your data.
But here's the other side of that. If we want to talk apps and stuff, when we clicking and agreeing, and it ain't necessarily a social media app, but we're giving access to our microphone, they're listening, and then these other apps sell your data. And it happens so fast too. Is though, all right, real quick, you can have two apps, and this app is just take pictures, right? But you done click yes and I agree, and now it's listening to you as well. They heard you talk about boring arrows. Next thing you open Facebook, and they talking about it has boring arrows for sale and all that. Everybody's listening to you. So I think the China angle and that is bullshit. I'm gonna tell you what. Go ahead. I want you to finish your thought because I know what I'm gonna say. I don't want you to lose your thought.
After I forgot what the term was called after 9/11. It was
the Patriot Act.
The Patriot Act.
That's what it is.
We slid into the information era, and that's more valuable. And I don't know how they set this evaluation up, but they a few years ago I saw that they was valuing our information at a greater value. I don't know if it's still the same. It's a few years ago. It was evaluating information at a greater rate a few years back at a greater rate than oil. Right?
That would make sense, though.
Yeah, but I'm trying to process that, and it's like if you got all this raw data, then it makes. Let's just say for what Trump does, whether you like him or not, right? What he does is a powerful because he knows what Middle America thinks. He knows. So when he goes to these there's raw data.
I agree.
Go to these different polling areas, and you know what to say because that demographic smokes Newports. They drink Budweiser. They do this. They do. Yes. So you step back. All that information is important.
Yeah.
Because now you know where are your target voters at? So for a company that's selling something, where is my market at? And I'm gonna tie it all the way in to you and the pod.
We know where to sell them. We know where to sell the Newports and the Marlboros.
Exactly. So from a business standpoint, it's like, all right, this market, where's our target audience? Even to the pod. Your analytics will tell you who's watching.
Yes, the age, everything, in the time of day, which is important because if you want to know what's the best time to go live, and you want to, you see who's listening and with the time they tune in, hey, this is the best time to do my show because I have more listeners, and my audience is growing at this time.
Exactly. So a lot of times, and not to say that either one of us are complaining, but a lot of times when people express things that they don't like about today or this or our information, and it's like when I look at it, it's like even if I don't like something, I try to look at the angle because some shit that everything is here it goes back to money in a capitalist society. So to the things that we like, where we know where the money go, to the things that we don't like, but that we don't know where money going, it's like somebody's making money. If the shit you don't like, all right, somebody's making some
prime example. Let me go back to what you originally said when you said, like the countries for sale. Like even with us sending money to all these different countries, the $3 billion that we send to Israel and the additional money we send to them, right? The money we send to Ukraine, they have to spend that money with our weapons companies, right? Yeah. So that's money back. Exactly. And then not only that, you gotta think who's invested in these companies. Like a lot of these weapons companies, like a share costs like $4,000. That's how much money that they jam and just for one share.
But you go ahead.
So with that being said, what you see in the way the country move is based on who controls it by those who's paying for it, in a sense. Like, true. And back to TikTok real quick. I think that our government, right, how we overthrow countries. Remember the Arab Spring when Obama was in office? All the protesting in Egypt. We had protesting in Iran, right? CIA use propaganda everywhere because you got to get inside people's head because it's not exactly. So they understand the way it works, right? So I think one thing is that one fear may be that not necessarily China, but us seeing things for what they are. Like for instance, the situation going on in Gaza. We getting to see bombs drop on innocent civilians with their hands up or whatever stuff the mainstream media wouldn't normally show us.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. You got the Vladimir Putin over there showing opening the vault, showing all the Israelites being black, right? You got a lot of different information. You even and stuff you may not necessarily agree with. You got the transgenders debating, should I be able to go to a bathroom? You have all kinds of conversations that you can't even type it in on your YouTube. Your channel get banned. And it's another source of information where they can't control the narrative and they can't control the propaganda.
So for me, right, and it's just again.
What do you think about that?
Just for me, right?
Yeah.
My brain, right? How I look at that is since you can't stop the flow of information, you can't. It's information. It's out there. What do we do to the people? We're gonna fucking bombard you with information.
That's another angle.
That's like it's a thing where
and that's where stuff thought to look. Oh, that might be a conspiracy, or it might be this.
They got, and I'm pretty sure they got analytics on this, so they know that.
That's a good.
They know that we like to get videos now. People like to on average, your attention span is like in a 1 minute clip, right? Like
yes.
So you can keep scrolling,
yes.
right? So you like to be able to take in a minute worth of information, right? Think about that. If you slow that down, and you take more than half of the social media that we have or the access away, and you give people the same amount of information, maybe they'll do more. But we got more information than we know what the fuck to do with. So it's like, all right, you might see something really bad going on, but then you got to do your grocery list. You're looking at these shoes. You're looking at this. You're looking at the bitch with the fat ass.
It kind of makes you. It kind of like
you like bombarded. Like how important does something really have to be? Like for me personally,
no, I get exactly what you're saying. That's a really good point because it saturates the stuff that you see like that. Because it's like boom, now you're looking at the fat ass.
Yeah, so
or
like even,
I gotta go grocery shopping.
So we all the same, right? Like so me, I be having just as you do, I be having real serious shit that I be having to do that's gonna get me some bread, right?
Right.
And I'll procrastinate on doing that, looking at other shit, right? So I can imagine, and I fancy myself a very a guy with a lot of fucking discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't imagine somebody that has no discipline. They'll get nothing done.
Yeah.
So to answer your question is like, since the government or the powers that be can't stop us from getting certain information, to flood us with information.
All right, so I agree. You made
not
really good value.
Flood us, but allow us we get information.
Yeah, flood might not be the right word, but I know exactly what you said. Oversaturated, right, like you said.
Each of these social media networks are vying for our attention.
Yeah.
YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, they want the attention. We can get them over our platform. We can sell them something. That's what it's all about. But now you 50% over here, 10% over here, 10% over here. 10%.
I think the difference is the fact that you're not being as censored as you are on the other ones, because now it's like a monopoly on what like information gets shown. Like they even censoring political stuff. They feel like especially as election season, that voters, a lot of the young voters, they're on social media. Everybody on social media, but the majority of people is like starting to move towards TikTok, where you can have more of an opinion.
Yeah, but the test is the fucked up shit that happened, and people don't do anything anymore. A third of this shit that he had now, people don't ride. People don't do anything anymore. And it's like,
because people don't do nothing unless I was going to say people don't even do nothing unless it's directly affecting. But now you got stuff people directly affected by, they don't do nothing either.
That's what I'm saying.
But that goes on to something you said a while ago about being boggled down the way society is. But even if you wanted to, you couldn't.
It's all a motherfucking. It's all a trick, man. It's all like a farce, like a fucking hoax. Because if our economy is fucked up, right, and you have a person, maybe something bad happens, and people want to march, man, your motherfucking kids still gotta eat. You still
that's what I'm saying. You're
tied
down.
So it's like
you got a ball and chain of responsibilities tied to you before you go out here, and God forbid if you take a stand that is deemed by society, you can't take this stance, you'll look a certain type of way, you could lose everything.
I think even when talking to, like, I was talking to one of my partners yesterday, and he in the treatment facility, right? And he was talking about how one of the guys in the facility, they administered him to get one of the tenants drugs, and he stay high all the time. And he's saying how that's fucked up, yo. He'll never get out of the program. And I look right at him, and I'm like, yo, that's good business. And he like, yo, basically was saying like, yo, it's an insensitive thing to say. And I'm like, yo, like, if you want to like really survive out here, you can have compassion, yo, but you got to start thinking as a fucking businessman. Because it'll make fucked up things that you see a lot more simpler. It don't make them right. But if you start thinking,
open your eyes.
It's a fucking corporation. So everything
it's like Big Pharma. It's like why create a cure? A one-time cure,
man, it's like
when we could give you something to stabilize it forever.
That's what I'm saying.
And like you said, that was good business.